One of New Orleans' most beloved musicians is sharing his story of turning hardship into hope. Trumpeter Kermit Ruffins has performed on some of the world's biggest stages. Now, he's using his platform to speak out about his family's firsthand experience with gun violence. Ruffins talked with our Jamie Wax in an exclusive network television interview.
Here in New Orleans, Kermit Ruffins is considered music royalty, though he isn't one to toot his own horn. With his trumpet in hand, the 59-year-old has taken jazz to the next note.
If you're not from New Orleans, let me hear you scream!
Ever since his childhood days growing up in the lower Ninth Ward.
My uncle Percy Williams, he's a trumpet player, and I can remember being 8, 9, 10 years old, and he would come to the house almost every weekend and just put the trumpet in my hand. And I look at that thing, man, when he opened that case, that shine, that smell of that brass, it was so freaking exciting.
By high school, Ruffins and some classmates founded Rebirth Brass Band, which to their surprise evolved into a world-renowned group.
We changed the world for his brass band music because it was kind of dying out and it was just old. The guys had on the old white hats and them black and white. Yeah. And we came along with a pair of jeans and a t-shirt and made it hip.
After over a decade of touring around the world, Ruffins' New Orleans roots called him back home in the early 90s. That's when he formed his next group, Kermit Ruffins and the Barbecue Swingers.
What is it that you would call the sound of your music that you play?
I always tell people it's happy music. It's dancing music. And we're doing it. You got one life to live. In the birthplace of jazz, where jazz was invented walking distance from where we're sitting.
Where we're sitting is Kermit's Treme Mother-in-Law Lounge, once owned by New Orleans music legend Ernie K. Doe, and now in the hands of another musician who wears many hats. But there's no role he cherishes more than being a father.
Best kiss ever.
2 years ago, Ruffins' pregnant girlfriend, Harmonize Pleasant, was shot by a stray bullet outside their home. It prompted an emergency delivery and left their daughter Blossom with a spinal cord injury. Doctors are unsure if she'll ever be able to walk.
The worst nightmare anybody could have happens. Tell me about that.
It's just unbelievable, you know. It's like it's not really happening, because now my baby probably won't walk. And then Harmonize has this big scar. It's a lot when I look at Blossom and knowing what's going to happen as far as going to school and everything she's going to go through.
It's true, as a parent, you project the future of your child.
Yeah.
And it's hard when you know they've got a limitation.
It's got to happen for a reason.
But I think it has a reason. Because I think a lot of people realized the cost of somebody that they personally cared about in this city.
Yeah.
Did you feel that at the time? Did you feel an outpouring of love?
Oh, yeah. I mean, everybody. They loved me to death. And everybody loved Blossom. She's a freaking joy. And the look in her eyes, she is excited about life. She's totally excited.
We saw that firsthand when we joined Ruffins and his family on a trip to New Orleans City Park, in a city known for its culture, but sadly, also for its crime.
What do you hope the story of that terrible day does for people who see this?
I hope it brings more awareness to gun violence, because it's a real thing, it's a big thing, and it affects people in a real major way.
I could have been doing 2 funerals.
It's hard to imagine.
And now we sit next to each other every day. So.
And you got this beautiful baby.
Yes.
With a new perspective on life, Ruffins' music now sings a different tune. One a bit more focused on hope and peace in the community that he still believes in, wholeheartedly.
And you feel there's no way out. You get dropped off in New Orleans.
And you may remember my fellow Cajun David Begnaud's recent report on CBS Mornings about Tulane University students who are building specially designed wheelchairs for children with disabilities. It turns out those students delivered one to Kermit's daughter, Blossom, to help her get around more comfortably.
Yes, I mean, Kermit's story is fascinating, of course, but now I can't stop thinking about his little girl.
Blossom.
That maybe, Blossom, that maybe there will be something in the medical field that could be able to help her.
I mean, she is
a
very...
stray bullet, just random.
It's,
Like
you know,
joy.
New Orleans has a lot of beauty and a lot of culture,
Yeah.
but it also is a complicated big city, and it has a lot of problems.
But I love looking into her eyes. She is joyful and full of life.
Beautiful child, absolutely.
And he persists as well. Jamie, thank you very much. Appreciate it.